In today's market vlog, I'm going to talk about how I'm going to set up my market stall to make it look like this. Let's make this. I've been doing lots of research about how to set up my market stall. So I've watched heaps of YouTube. I've done deep dives into Pinterest and Google Images and all of those bits and pieces. And I there's so many out there and there's so many different ways to present your market stall. I only went for a small space for these three markets this year, because I don't know what I'm doing. So I thought, rather than try and go big and bold, I might just contain myself to a space that is 2 meters wide, I think, and 3 meters, 2 by 3, I think. And with the first one, they're providing a table for me. So it's a 1.8 meter table. So I've got to try and fit everything into that. Now, I look at lots of images of market stalls, and you can see in these different images that I've collected, most of them are very neutral toned. So, and if you've been following along, my stuff is not neutral toned. So I found what I've found with that is it's been really hard to work out what I'm going to use to set these stalls up. But what I have found with all of these neutral toned ones is things like getting props that will provide height. And I hear that a lot when I'm listening to different YouTubers. They talk a lot about height and making things at different levels so that your eye moves around your stall rather than being all flat on a table. It draws people to different levels and maybe will find different products that you've got. So that's the biggest thing I've taken away. The other thing is having some kind of way of people knowing what your brand is and what your name is. So lots of people have done different ways of doing that. They've created signs, they've had it as their tablecloths, they've had it maybe next to their point of sale area. So I've taken lots of different bits and pieces from all of this inspiration, and let's have a look what I've done. So to start off with, I'm just unpacking all of my different props. Now, I bought a lot of these from Temu. I know lots of people have different views and thoughts about Temu and Shein and all of those kind of things, but when it comes to trying to set up this market stall on a very tight budget, because as I've said before, I'm not really sure if this is going to be something that I'm going to do on a long-term basis, this was perfect. There's these little plates, or they're cake stands essentially. They're a couple of dollars. The magnet stand, a couple of dollars. The book holders, there's 2 in each pack. Same with the little cup holder things that I'm going to put my bookmarks in. There's so many bits and pieces that I may never use again, and I don't want to be spending a whole heap of money for something that I may not use again. But if I don't spend a lot of money, I'm quite happy to give it away, and so someone else can use it. So that's where I've got a lot of my stuff. I've also created my signage, which is just a piece of fabric that I got from Spotlight. It's just a cheap cotton drill, and then I got Amazing Transfers to create a DTF iron-on print for me, which is my logo, and then the name of my stall. So that's where I've taken that idea of making sure that everyone knows what your stall is called, and that's how I'm doing that, because I don't have anything behind me. I don't have any kind of stand as such. So I am using that tablecloth method to show people who I am. I really love this stand that I've got for my tote bag. So it's a portable clothes hanger essentially, and I bought those cute little coat hangers as well. And so I've actually put them on, not with the handle hanging up. I've put them so that the coat hangers are attached to the actual bag. I think that just helps show people what they're purchasing, and they're able to move through them quite easily, because I'm only going to put one of each of the bags up there, and then I'll just replenish as I go. So I love the clear component of these. I think they were makeup brush holders or whatever I bought them as, but these are certainly not sold as bookmark holders, but I think the idea of it is really good. I am kind of annoyed with myself that I created 4 of the food ones because it doesn't fit into those containers as symmetrically, but it is what it is. So I do like that. That's going to sit hopefully on the table, I think, because it does show it. The way the bookmarks sit in it, there's height in that, and I love how the ribbons and the chiffon actually are like a little focal point, like they've got little hair on top. So, and it will be easy for people to pull a bookmark out, have a look at it, put it back, and so it should be a really good way of displaying these. How cute are these? These are the garden signs. That's a test tube propagating thing. Again, just a little cheapie off Temu, but I think it kind of really lends itself to that theme, particularly because I've put that dried baby's breath in there. And so on each end are the 2 different kinds of garden sign. People can pull them out, they can have a look, and then they can put them back quite easily. It shouldn't be much of a hassle. I really like this stand. I wasn't sure how it was going to go or whether it would work for this purpose. I mean, that's kind of what it's built for, but it's actually worked out really nicely. So I would have liked to have 6 of those little sections though, because then I could have had 1 for the leaf thief and 1 for the bite bandit, and then 2 for the garden wristlets and 2 for the food wristlets. But I think it's worked out fine. People can skim through those quite easily, and you can see the different kinds. I haven't put all of them out, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to put 1 of each kind, and then I can replenish as I go. And if people do want more than 1 of a particular kind, I do have them just sitting under the table there. I was going to put just 1 of each of the notepads out, but because the notepads they're sturdy enough, but they're not ones that are going to stand up on their own, I decided that I'm going to just use 1 of those stands, and I'm going to put the food and the plant ones in together. So I'm going to have 1 section that's food, 1 section that's plants, 1 section food, 1 section plants. So people can rifle through them. And again, I can replenish as I go. So they're not the only ones I've got. I can replenish when people purchase them. I love the combination of the little stands as well as the one that's holding all of them. I love the fact that all of them, the pencil cases are there and they're different coloured zippers, so that might even draw people to them to go, oh, I wonder what's happening here. I've had to put cardboard inside the 2 that are on display at the front, so the Monstera and the mushrooms one. I put a little bit of cardboard in there. It kind of stands it up a bit better, and it helps it stay on that stand really well. And putting the sign at the front there, people can reach over it quite easily. They can file through each of the different pencil cases to find the one they want. Plus, see the price of the pencil cases quite easily. These are probably the trickiest things to display. The reason that they're so tricky is because they're see-through. And so there's a couple of issues there. When people are flicking through them, they're going to put their fingerprints on them. But also you kind of can see all the way through each of them. So I don't know how these are going to go. I'm not sure how they're going to sell anyway, but the display of these was a little bit tricky. So if anyone's got any ideas on a better way of doing that, they are magnetic. So I thought if I had a bigger space, I could have got a bigger magnetic board and I could have stuck each of them onto there. But I don't think that when you have a look at the end, you'll see that my table's quite full, and it's I don't know that there's much space anywhere for more. How cute is this stand? Those magnets are really popping off the back of that white stand. I kind of wish I bought more than 1 of these because I could have used them for my magnetic bookmarks as well, or even my stickers actually. So, but anyway, if I do continue to do this, that may be something that I will pursue. But yeah, I really like it, and the signage I'm using the magnets for the signage, so you can see that the magnets actually do work. This part was actually really fun. I loved seeing it all come together and working out whether or not things needed to be lifted up off the table or whether they were quite it was quite good to have them down on the table for people to see. The signage turned out to be the perfect size. I was worried they were a little bit too big and a bit too in your face, but the whole point of the signs is so that people can see how much things cost. So I think they really do stand out here. You can see that I've got a couple of just plastic boxes at the back there holding up the notepads and the stickers and magnetic bookmarks. I have gone since to Kmart and bought a couple of shelf stackers. They're these black mesh ones. They're in the kitchen section. So those are now able to hold those different pieces up off the table. So then that has that effect of the rise and draws the eye up and down and around the table. And I am totally loving all the colours. Those cake plates and that little pink table that were from Temu are just perfect for my branding, my colouring, all of that kind of stuff. I love the little strawberries. Those are from Kmart. And those little strawberries are just photo holders. But they hold my signs in really well. So it's something that kind of fits with my theme because it's strawberries are food, strawberries are also plants. So they really do marry the two together. I think my favourite stand is the garden sign one. It's with those little fake, I don't know, what are they called? Baby's breath that have been coloured to all of the different colours. I think they just help draw the eye, and I really love that product. So that one I'm really excited about. I hope that this works, and I think it will. When this actually drops on YouTube, I'm at my first market. So if you really want to see how it's all gone, jump on over to Instagram and check out how I'm going, because I will hopefully be able to show you how I've done the final setup. Now, I didn't really time myself very in doing this, but the actual table setup, based on time lapse and conversions and all that kind of stuff, probably about 10 minutes to put those pieces in place. But the actual setup of each of those little components, I think it probably took me about an hour. But there was a lot of playing around. There's a lot of, oh, where should this go? Where should that go? So hopefully when it comes to going to the market, I'll be able to do that a lot quicker, and hopefully I'll be able to kind of knock that down to about a half hour, 45-minute setup. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today, and I can't wait to see you again next week for another Cricut tutorial. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget, you can always jump on my Instagram, head over to my Etsy store, or even check out the videos YouTube recommends for you down below.